Writing is a basic skill because many things depend on written communication. In fact, it is one of the primary means of communication before. Now that we're in the digital world, most of our communication is written, especially when you're working in media. We write emails, formal letters, resumes, application letters, invitations, proposals, and even chat. We also write to produce print communication materials. The question is, are we skilled enough to make our target audiences understand us better? How important is grammar now? Where texting, or chatting, and using of slang words are the new trends. Hi everyone, I am Cherry H. Calisi, a Master of Development Communication student, and let's talk about the two remaining principles of clear and effective writing for print communication materials and the readability of a written material using Gunning Fog Index. By the end of the discussion, we must apply Principles 13 and 14 of clear and effective writing and compute the readability of selected printed materials using Gunning Fog Index. Start. Principle number 13. Review your grammar. If it sounds right, then it's got to be right. That is a familiar phrase we often hear from people who sometimes forget the rules of grammar. I think at some point we are guilty of that. But we don't want that to be our way of checking our grammar. We are development communicators, and words are our power. So we have here common grammatical concerns that will help us with our grammar. First, subject-verb agreement, tenses, articles, and adverbs. First, let's have a quick review of what subject-verb agreement is. The subject is the person, place, or thing that's performing the action of the sentence, while the verb is the action or state of being of the subject. Subjects and verbs need to agree in number, which is known as singular and plural. A singular subject takes a singular verb, whereas a plural subject takes a plural verb. Let's have some examples. Robin and his friends want to go on a tour. We have here the plural subject Robin and his friends. Nouns connected by the conjunction and in the subject work as the plural subject and take a plural verb. The plural verb want agrees with the subject Robin and his friends, which is plural. Next, the verb here is were, which agrees with the plural noun 5 people. Next, no one likes to fail in a university. No one is called an indefinite pronoun, just like someone, anyone, no one, anybody, somebody, or nobody. They usually take a singular verb. They are also considered as singular subject or singular nouns. We have the singular verb likes that agrees with the subject no one, which is also singular. Next, Tom, along with his brothers, is going to the city. So the subject here is Tom, which is singular, and the verb is going, which is singular. If the conjunction and is replaced by an appositive phrase, the verb will have no effect for the later part of these expressions. The words prior to these expressions are the subjects. So we have here Tom as the singular subject, and we have here the appositive phrase, which is along with his brothers. This phrase doesn't affect Tom as a singular subject. Let's now come to tenses. Tenses demonstrate the time of action in sentences usually performed by or centered around the subject of the sentence. Tenses are mainly categorized into 3 types: past tense, present tense, and future tense. For tenses, we just have to remember to be consistent and follow the normal time of sequence of events. Let's describe what past tense is. It is used to describe an activity or event that has happened in the past. This usually take the form or the formula subject plus verb with D or ed plus object. For example, yesterday it rained throughout most the day. So yesterday complement the word rained, which is also past. Next, he bought a new laptop yesterday. The word bought complements the word yesterday. Next, present tense. This is used to describe an activity or event that is currently going on, something that is habitually performed, or a state that generally or currently exists. This usually takes the form subject plus verb with s or es plus object. For example, we have my family goes to France every summer. So the verb here is goes and it complements the words every summer. Every summer is an example of habitually performed. It is habitually performed. Next, Naveen is practicing for the annual day. For practicing, it's also in the present tense. Next, we have the future tense. This is used to describe an activity or event that has not yet happened and is expected to happen. This usually take the form or the structure subject plus will plus base form of the verb. For example, he will be here soon. So will indicates that he will come soon. It's in the future tense. Next, they will not perform at the concert. The same with the first sentence, it indicates what will happen. Next, we have articles. An article is a short monosyllabic word that's used to define if the noun is specific or not. We have a, an, and the. A and an are indefinite articles used to indicate something that is not specific, while the definite article used to determine something that is particular. For example, Fred sent a letter to his favorite author. We use A because it is not specific. We don't know what kind of letter Fred wrote for his favorite author. Next, I had an apple for breakfast. We also don't know which apple did I eat for breakfast. I found the book that I was looking for. Although the word book is not specified or doesn't have the title or which book I was looking for, but I know which exact book I was looking for, which book I was looking for. So we use the. For the last grammar concern, we have adverbs. Adverbs are words used to describe or modify a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. For example, Sheila sipped her drink slowly. So this answers the question how. How did Sheila sip her drink? So the answer is slowly. So this describes the verb sipped. She sipped her drink slowly. Next, I go to the park once a week. So this answered by the question how often, or it's an adverb of frequency. How often do you go to the park? So the answer is once a week. Let's proceed to the next principle, which is principle number 14, revise and sharpen. Okay, have you heard about the famous American author Ernest Hemingway? He rewrote his story's last paragraph for over 300 times, or 300 times, because he wasn't satisfied until he was able to arrive at the perfect ending. I don't know, maybe some of you here are like Ernest Hemingway, or maybe some of you passed the first draft of their article just to meet the deadline. If you want to have a better and effective output of your piece or article, I suggest that once you're done writing a piece, set it aside and let it rest. In this way, once you go back and read your piece again, you will have a future perspective and might consider revising or rewriting. So here are questions to consider in revising your piece. First, have I made the message clear? Did your article's message was clearly delivered? Or does your article have coherence and focus? Number three, is it immediately evident to my readers where the discussion is leading? Sometimes we have a lot of ideas and sometimes we don't know where we're going, where our article is going. So I think it's better if we make an outline of an article that we're going to write. Number four, do ideas flow smoothly? Are the sentences grammatical? Is the angle of my story evident or clear? Was I able to use simple and familiar words? Are the sentences and paragraphs short and understandable? Was I direct to the point? Number 10, does each paragraph focus on one main idea at a time? Those are the questions you might want to consider when you're going to revise your piece. But you may also add your own questions based on the article that you are writing.